Thank you very much, John. You know, it was just a couple of weeks ago that we were anticipating being in BC for this game. It hasn't worked out that way because of the last few games in the year. We're in Calgary, and they are hosting the semifinal, and here's why.
The Stampeders head into the 79 schedule, highly rated and anxious to avenge their loss to Edmonton in last year's Western Final. And they start out fast with victories over Winnipeg and Montreal, but then lose big against those Eskimos 44-9. That sets up an August 8th encounter with the Ottawa Roughriders. Calgary going into the game in third place and needing a victory to maintain pace with both Edmonton and BC, who tied the night before. Ottawa, meanwhile, are tied at first in the East with the same record as Calgary, 2-1. Tom Forzani scored the first touchdown for the Stampeders, but their big break came early in the game when Reggie Lewis picked up a fumble and went into the end zone for the Stamps. Then, clinging to that lead, the Stampeders get another break. A fumble recovered by Calgary, and they go in to score the touchdown that puts them too far ahead for Ottawa to regroup. Richard Crump, who was with the Stampeders then and finished, oddly enough, with Ottawa, goes into the end zone, and the Stampeders win 27-17. On August the 15th, Calgary is still in third place, and they host the BC Lions. The Lions at this point in first, 3 up on the Stampeders. Willie Burden makes the most of that effort, scoring after the short pass. Then with Ken Johnson in at quarterback, number 19. And still trailing in the ball game, 9-7. Big Willie Armstead fights his way down to the 2-yard line. From then, number 33, Richard Crump dives over the pile. Calgary goes on to win by a score of 22-10. They're still in third place on September the 23rd, hosting the Winnipeg Blue Bombers and needing this game to get back in contention for first place. Willie Armstead all alone on that touchdown pass. But the Bombers fight back, and a very controversial play gives Calgary a 28-23 victory. On September the 30th, the big rematch. After 3 years of frustration, it looked like the Stampeders might be able to beat the powerful Edmonton Eskimos. The Stamps were still in third place going into the game, but Willie Burden scored early. Then Tom Forzani scored to break an 11-11 tie. Big play, last minutes of the game. Larry Heibaugh fumbles a punt with the score tied, and diving over the pack is Willie Burden to give the Stamps that victory. Game 14, October the 20th. BC and Calgary once again. Low scoring in the first half. The Lions held a commanding 20-8 lead going into the second half. But Calvin Kirk scored on a 25-yard touchdown pass to give the Stampeders some life. Then watch what happens as Kirk busts a 94-yard punt return when he was seemingly stopped 2 or 3 times. Morehouse, 44, and Pasaglia, 5, have him completely cornered, but somehow Calvin Kirk escapes and dances down the sidelines. They still were within striking distance only, and it took a big play when John Henry White, the very reliable receiver, is hit and drops the ball. Always alert, number 28, Terry Irwin, scoops it up, and he will go all the way into the end zone. And that ties the football game at 30-30 in the fourth quarter, a game the Lions seemingly had wrapped up very early in the contest. Still thinking that they could move into second place, Ken Johnson throws over the middle to Tom Forzani. Stampeders win it 37-32 and move into second. Only 2 weeks left in the schedule. Jack Gotta wants that Western semifinal home game advantage. He gets a chance against Toronto. Willie Armstead scoring. Calgary beats Toronto 28-12. In the last game of the season, they maul the Saskatchewan Roughriders 41-8 to finish in second place, 5 points ahead of BC, 2 behind Edmonton, and that's why they host the semifinal today.